So a gentle reminder that we'll have the final Q&A session for our speakers after all remaining presentations. So again, the Mentimeter QR code is over there as well as in the Zoom chat box. So moving on, I'd like to invite our next speaker, Miss Elisabeth Martin, principal at MDA Design Group, Architects and Planners based in New York, and member of the IFLA Library Buildings and Equipment section to talk about flexible furniture solutions for libraries. Ms. Martin, please.
There we go. I'm new. I have a loud voice, so you get to use it. Okay. So, hi. I'm an architect and interior designer, and I've been working on libraries for a long time, about 30 years. And they're my passion. But a passion of mine is how much furniture, finishes, and lighting impacts the library space. You can build a wonderful building. Just waiting for this to come up. And if those three things are not as excellent as the building, you don't achieve your goals. So I was assigned flexible furnishing and their value in libraries. And I have so much, as each speaker spoke this afternoon, I'm nodding because it's all of the same themes that I've included. And Mr. Chan, the one thing I say in every proposal and almost every meeting, initial meeting with a client, is the one constant in libraries is change. So I'm in full agreement. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to talk about the benefits of flexible furnishings in libraries. And so we all know that we need flexibility because change is constant, and as was said, space is at a premium, and there's never quite enough. But they also add many other ways. So what roles do they play? One that I love is form and color. And that was shown in a lot of the slides today. They bring a vibrancy and beauty to the interior and also to the exterior when you use exterior flexible furnishings. The one we've been talking about a lot is space flexibility. The fact that furniture can move helps us accommodate change and helps us use space better and helps us also accommodate personal preference. Space definition, it's amazing how much flexible furnishing can actually economically define spaces. Instead of building rooms, you can use furniture to do so without construction. The flexibility that they can just serve a variety of purposes, ergonomic fit and comfort, we're all different and we're all looking for different things. And you must accommodate choice and you must accommodate different user fit. So whether it's size for children to seniors, we've seen a lot of university libraries, but I deal a lot with public libraries, and we have from just born to the grandparents all needing to feel. And choice. Choice is essential. You think that we have common goals in libraries and we'd want a common thing, but there's absolutely no one preference or no one solution. And furniture can also inspire collaboration, but it can also likewise serve for an individual quiet study purpose and have acoustic attenuation built into it, which really helps. And last, two last things. Display and storage, furniture can be used for that. It doesn't all have to be built in. And lastly, acoustic separation, which I touched on before. Mobile panels, all the, well here, you can look at this ceiling. We use a lot of acoustic panels in every way, and they are essential. So here we go. First strategy. We'll look at each of these as a strategy. Form and color. You know probably a number of these libraries, but you can see here that form and color really makes an essential critical change. Here's another two libraries that I love in New York. And again, these vibrant colors. Someone today spoke of orange. I went to a university where it was called paprika, but Yale School of Architecture is all paprika. But these libraries show you the effect of color and what a difference it makes. And these top three are some libraries that I've recently completed. And here's some furniture examples of how the Panton chair and the Woom chair and the Panton sofa can just bring so much life and color, and they're all movable and they're all flexible. Here's some other libraries, all but the UDI that we've worked on, where furniture, this strategy is space definition. So without walls, the shelves, the furniture, the booths, the openings in the stacks, or in this case, this wonderful curvature of creates a room, they all define space without construction. Let's go next. Okay. And here's more examples of how just individual furniture units define space. The agati pods, curvilinear shelving, or furniture that creates enclosures within it. And then another strategy is flexibility of use and accommodating choice. So in this one corner, this is a library I did in New Orleans. You've got tables, you've got window seats, you've got movable ottomans, the reader's chair, but that furniture accommodates so many uses with just very few elements combined. And in this is a teen zone I recently did. And this is what I call the living edge in a library, when I always try to put user seating near the natural light. And those are the first seats that I always fill. So come on. Hello? Okay, there we go. And in a more traditional vein, here, this is also accommodating choice. People love to gravitate to the booths. Some people love to go to the chairs. And these have a different feel and fit for different users. These are swivel chairs by a fireplace next to tables. And everything provides comfort and fit for various people choosing different as their preference. Okay. I'm having real trouble with this clicker. Okay, there we go. And also ergonomics has a lot to do with size. It's not only the type of comfort that you want, but it's also the ergonomic fit for size. And luckily the furniture companies that we all deal with have understood this more and more. And so the Womb chair by Eero Saarinen comes in 3 sizes. The Aeron chair by Herman Miller comes in 3 sizes. Agati makes their pods for adults, and then they make a model for children. So we have to really consider that, consider even in our built-ins for restrooms, for service desks, for everything, we have to really consider ergonomic fit. And then another strategy is collaborative environments. This is a children's room and a teen space, but each one of these is absolutely prompting collaborative work and interaction. And it's all through movable furniture. And here is another slide of collaborative environments. So many different types. They're readily available, they're movable, and they are so valuable in a library today. And here's more collaborative environment furniture. I'm just checking the time. That I really love. I've used all of this. And curves and form, I think, inspire people to really enjoy using the furniture and collaborate more. So each of these has a lovely shape as well. And then individual workspaces, whether it's a study room made for one, or whether it's a carrel or nook or work nook made for one, instead of the booths that you saw before that come as 1 person, 2 person, 4 person. These really are wonderful to employ in a library, and they are some of the most popular flexible furnishing that you can put in a library. And then we saw before a different version of the room, which is like a phone booth made for study. Okay, oh, back. So how do I press twice? Okay, okay, all right. So acoustic dividers are incredible in what they do, and they're for the walls, the ceilings, carpets on the floor, absorb sound, movable whiteboards, which have tack boards on the side. I particularly like this. Silencio is a Spanish company, and they have ceiling panels like this. They have wall panels, but then they made this arch, which I think is really ingenious because it very gently defines space, but it does also keep sound in. These are another product of theirs, which is an acoustic movable divider. And then display. There was actually, until recently, a dearth of these products around, BCI has been around for a long time, and their tower has been around. But I begged Agadi to consider creating new furniture, and they have. We designed these, and Agadi built them for us, and now Joe finally released a whole bunch last week of new book display. But then there's also storage. I've always thought that the Seattle Public Library's shop on their main floor was just a genius solution. They crank it closed when it's not staffed, and when they have staff there to sell, they just crank it open. And in a library, compact storage, it's just a fun sort of play on its use. We have, this is, under every window seat, we always pull out bins, whether it's in this teen room or whether it's in this children's room or that children's room. And then USM is just a terrific company. Their furniture is modular and is full of color, although it does come white and black as well. And you can use it in so many ways for movable storage. And then this is just some variations, just to show you how so this should be animated, great. So takeaways for successful space planning. 1, place most seating near natural light and views. It will be used. Plan for a variety of styles and preferences, that's user choice. Plan for lightweight furniture when possible. A lot of the makerspace tables that we buy, I buy them with wheels and then they weigh a ton. So you have to consider not only how much they weigh, but also do they fit through the doorway? That's something. Plan, okay, so include dollies. Whenever I order movable furniture that stacks, I have to make sure to order those dollies with it on the same order. Test the layouts in advance, which is what this basically is over here, including those door clearances. Plan lighting to work with the varied layouts. If you have a pendant fixture that's over a particular table and the table plans to move, you have to think about that twice. And plan for accessible power outlets. And as people today have said, you can never have too many, but you don't want them to be a trip hazard. And build in storage wherever possible. So this is just some quick diagrams of how one space with movable furniture can serve a whole variety of ways. And so you would use different elements of furniture to, whether an L-shaped stationary counter, a group of seating, a study table, or a counter. And then those were small study rooms. You never have enough study rooms, never, ever. But here's a slightly larger one and how that might array with different furniture choices. This is one that we just recently built, and there are 4 study rooms in a row, and each one is set up with different furniture. They're the same size, but each one has a different layout. Then meeting rooms, the same. There's small meeting rooms or larger meeting rooms, but in this small one, you can set it up auditorium style, classroom style, event style. And here's the different furniture. You can have tables that fold and stack together. You can have folding tables that go on a dolly and move into a closet, which those really don't do well. This chair stacks like 40 in a stack. It's called the creature chair. And there's different furniture that you would use for each of these rooms. So you really should build in storage next to most meeting rooms. And here you see the pantry and the storage with similar varied uses in a larger layout. And again, they stack on a dolly, they fold. And then reading rooms, again, I'll just show you 2 possible layouts, always with people near the glass edge, as you can see in there, but with movable shelving, with movable furniture, stacking chairs, rolling book display units. This room could be populated this way with the shelving. By the way, in the US, I don't think we read nearly as much as you do in Hong Kong. We're very book dependent still. But we have the books. I have the books shown on the inboard side display in front of where people are walking in and people near the light. Or this room and another books in the center, booths on the side. Booths are so popular. Like study rooms, you can never have enough. They're the first things that fill. When I first started putting them in for teens, I would find the adults in the teens room all of the time. But here's a variety of movable furniture that we would use in a adult. This is a teen reading room. You have more lounge seating, more flexibility. Again, the booths. And then this is a children's layout. You would have a lot of flexible move. Oh, by the way, teens move furniture every other day. So whatever you set it up for, just know it's going to change. The children don't move it as much, but you want furniture to move for their programming. You want to have shelves often on wheels because you might not have enough space and you want to set up a big program. So the flexible furniture, flexible service points are great in all spaces when you need a service point. I happen to love them. And modular seating. Here's another layout for that children's room. We're doing fine here. And then these last few slides are just some source where I labeled the names of the products, some sources for service desks. There's so much available now. And the worst thing is when they build them in with steel and bolt them into the floor. As we know, change happens. Right. Well, in New Orleans, I went to see 30 new libraries, and they were all built in steel and bolted into the floor. So here's some movable service points. Here's some wonderful, shapely, popular lounge seating. Some of that swivel, some of that not. Here's an example of booths. And this one in particular is fun because that one has a little roof. So it does actually do the work to keep some of the noise within it. And it creates space. It defines space. Here are some ottomans and sectionals. We use a lot of ottomans on our projects, and they're certainly very movable. Study tables. There's really good stuff out there. You don't have to go with Demco is a brand in the United States, but they're not that imaginative and a little dated. Anyway, here's some wonderful study chairs. Again, there's great examples. Some of these are easily movable and very comfortable. Children's furniture. They don't have to all look the same. There's a lot of really fun stuff out there. There's a lot of fun children's lounge. All this is movable. This is a particular project that adds pop of color. It's leaflet by Arcadia, and Arcadia makes the booths that we use a lot. And as an architect, I'm sorry, I love a room chair. I love an egg chair, and they make them in children's sizes. And this is another very modular piece. And some more seating for children that actually creates space, but is very movable. And there you go. And I'm down with 42 seconds. Okay.